beaming from Pacific Junction Hotel to Earth.
Yo, welcome to my Summer Lair. I'm your host, Sammy Younan. I have two people from the new film, The Night the Kids Found Out. So we're going to find out what the kids found out. So introduce yourselves. We'll start with you and go this way. Introduce yourselves, what you did for the film, and then when we get to you, just give us a little snapshot of what the film's about.
So I'm Tiana. I am the creative director of The Night the Kids Found Out. So I dealt with a lot of the props, the visuals, the graphics, all of that. So, yeah.
Cool. My name is Iris. I was the director of the film. The Night the Kids Found Out is a 30-minute thriller that revolves around three kids who are investigating their biology teacher and his involvement in the missing case of a student athlete at their school.
Nice.
Yeah.
You chose to make a thriller. Is this an interest in either thrillers or horror movies or that kind of genre? I guess I'm lumping it all together.
Yeah, for sure. I think I sent the mood board to Tiana before we even started anything, but
Wait,
it was
what's a mood board?
It was basically like a compilation of the visuals that we wanted and what exactly the theme that we were going for. So on that there was obviously Stranger Things, there was It, there was Riverdale, Twin Peaks, things that are kind of held in a small town with kids with a mystery that's kind of shadowing over the whole town.
In terms of creepy small towns, was there a particular look or small town you're looking for?
Well, we wanted it to be an old small town. You know, a lot of the building, the school might look a little bit run down. The main characters, even in their fashion choices, what they're wearing, we wanted it to be very vintage, very 80s. But at the same time, this film is based in the present day, you know?
So the characters use a cell phone or something?
Yeah, so they have all the modern technology, but that's kind of the aesthetic we were going for. So some people, they were getting a little bit confused, but I feel like once you see the movie, you'll be like, oh, I get it. That's just the look of it.
And your town is Faybridge, right? And this is fictional? It doesn't exist?
It doesn't
Absolutely
exist.
not.
Maybe it does somewhere in America or here even, but no, it doesn't exist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does Faybridge have some sort of ominous history? Is it because you mentioned Stranger Things, is it like Hawkins? Is there something kind of going on in Faybridge, or is this just the one mystery that's in Faybridge?
I would like to think so. I think, well, the beginning scene, we end up on Nico, who is the main character, and she's opening up a mailbox, and it's kind of like a rundown road. So I imagine it's a small town with not much going on. People kind of look the other way. Although when Hunter is announced missing, it seems like a pretty big deal to them. So it seems like it's pretty, I don't know. There's that, but also a few weeks later, they're going off to prom, and everyone seems happy. So I'm not sure.
You know what? We're accepting all fan theories
Okay.
about Faybridge.
Yeah. In general, I think it's a small town where things like that don't happen that often, but I think it's easy for people to look the other way.
Why a small town? I know you mentioned TV shows like Riverdale and Stranger Things, but what is it about a small town that lends itself to that kind of something like Hawkins, for example?
Yeah. Well, I feel with a small town setting, as opposed to say a big city or something like that, all the characters, they're very close-knit. Everyone knows each other. So they're all wondering oh, who did this? Could it be that person? Could it be that person? Because there's a good chance that we probably know them, you know? So news spreads, that kind of thing. It makes it a little more interesting, the character dynamics and everything.
Scarier too.
Oh yeah.
You know, it could be your neighbor. I think that's the most scariest part. You can get away with so much, but also it's again a very small pool of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned It, for example. Could you survive a horror movie? Could both of you survive a horror movie? Get to the end? Or?
I'm gonna be honest. I think I can. I've watched so many horror movies. I would never run up the stairs. I would never go anywhere alone. My battery is always 100%.
Oh, okay.
I know when something's a little bit off. So I think I'd be one of the last survivors. Maybe not the last, but one of them.
Okay,
sure.
the only reason that I think I would survive a horror movie is because I am so scared. I would not check what's upstairs, what's in that closet. I would just duck and hide in my basement, like in the corner, and not move for a week.
Basement, the basement, really? You wouldn't
Okay,
just
well,
leave?
I'd get like a few snacks or
Right.
something, you know. But
hide out.
you know, yeah,
You're
I'm
a
just
sitting
paranoid.
duck though. Then they're gonna come or whatever,
Yeah.
Jason or
Yeah,
Freddy
but-
or he's gonna
You need
come.
to run.
Yeah.
It's always the ones who go out and
Demogorgon.
investigate, who
That's true.
who get in trouble.
I would
you
never.
know.
I don't want to be a hero. I'm not a hero. I'm a coward. I would run the other way.
No,
but
you're
if that
smart.
means I can survive, I'm okay with being a coward.
Well, yeah, that's how you live though,
Yeah.
right? Like you run out of the house or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
The small town question that you asked, I also want to add to that.
Mhm.
That's okay. I grew up in a small town called Dorchester, and
So for people who don't know where that is,
yes, it's on Ontario, near London, Ontario, which is around Western University, but it's on the outskirts of it. And this town is so interesting to me because literally, like, 2 times a month, our school bus on the way to school would get stopped from goats, like, on the road. Like,
Are
it's
you
that.
serious?
Yeah, it's pretty small. Everyone knew each other's families. You would always see, like, 5 of your school members biking down the street when you went there, you know, over a weekend. But I was close with, like, my 3 girlfriends at the time, and we would always bike around, like, this one area, and there would always be, like, a weird type of feeling around, I believe it's called Mill Pond or Pond Mills, and that's where, you know, the teenagers would go to, like, smoke, to, like, have parties and everything like that.
Did anyone go missing? Was there a hunter?
No, but I remember there was, like, this, like, cool senior couple, and, like, they like, no one knew where they were for, like, I think 2 days.
Okay.
And it was, like, that was the talk of the town for a really long time. So I, like, in my head, I'm like, this is really crazy, but also I was, like, you know what I mean? Like, my crazy self, I'm like, what if this happened? What if this happened? So I think my curiosity and, like, for, like, small towns and bad things happening kind of started there. I know that sounds terrible, but, like, I think that's my overactive imagination.
did they find them?
Oh yeah, they were fine. I think they
Oh.
were just, like, literally crashing at someone's place,
Okay.
and they didn't. You know, cell phones weren't
Wait,
a
how
huge
old
thing.
were they?
I was in grade, like, 8, so I don't grade 12. Like, how old are you when you're grade 12?
No, I mean you said it was an old couple that went.
Sorry. Oh, like senior, as in high school seniors.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Not
thought
like
you meant
old,
like
old.
an
Yeah, yeah.
old senior couple.
No,
they were
that's
like
a
out.
different-
Yeah, yeah.
I was
No,
like,
no, no, no,
what?
That's like Alzheimer's or something.
Yeah, that's sad.
I was so worried. For
Yeah.
a
No,
second.
no. I got that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Does it growing up then and being in a small town like that and having that experience when you are watching horror movies, is it scarier because you're just out by yourself now in that kind of a small town in that environment?
A bit, yeah, but it makes it more exciting. I live downtown now, so whenever I watch a horror movie, I'm like, I live in an apartment, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're in a house with like I don't know, like 5 other houses around you and just cornfields, which is where I live. Like, it changes
It's
the vibe
quiet,
completely.
right?
It's very quiet.
Mhm.
I like it, but
You don't know if there's someone hiding around the corner.
I
You don't know
know.
if there's someone in the cornfield.
you really never know. It's kind of crazy.
So you mentioned it and Stranger Things for this movie, but is there any other particular horror films that you really dig or that are some of your favorites or some that you even keep returning to?
Okay, well, me personally, I'm honestly not a big horror movie buff. For someone who's creative directing a thriller, yeah, horror movies scare me, man.
Yeah.
But as I'm getting older, I can appreciate them. Like It, I really liked. But yeah, some of them, depending on, I guess, like, I don't like the ones with the jump scares. Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Those are annoying because that's just like
That's like a
reaction.
cheap tactic.
Yeah, I could scare you right now and
Yeah.
you'd be like, I'm scared, but that wasn't because I was like, you know,
Yeah.
scary. It's just, you know what I mean?
Iris is definitely the big horror movie buff
love
here.
horror
She's the
movies.
one who pitched me the idea a year ago, and she was like, yeah, I want to do a horror movie. I love horror movies, but like with this aesthetic, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
it's your
horror movies.
thing.
I love it when you're in the comfort of your own house with popcorn and you can be like, I can enjoy this. And like, because I'm not involved in it, I can pause and I can go to the washroom and I'll be okay. I know I won't, you know, be in danger. I think Twin Peaks is definitely like a huge inspiration just because of the aesthetic and like the way people interacted back then, the way that they wore their clothes and like the way they dealt with issues as well. I think Twin Peaks is also set in like Twin Peaks, a small town. I haven't actually watched a lot of the episodes, as well as Riverdale, just because of the aesthetic as well. I think they're trying to reboot the whole 80s thing. I think the biggest thing about small towns that is interesting is the friendships. And in horror movies is just the friendships and how like you grow under the most unlikely circumstances because you kind of have to. If you're defeating the Demogorgon, you know, you kind of have to have a good support system.
Yeah, we saw that in the Scream movies too.
Yeah.
All the characters there, they became really close over the 3 movies, right?
Yeah.
And so as they got killed off one by one, it became a lot more heavier and emotionally draining for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You guys mentioned a word a couple of times, aesthetic. What is it that you're looking for when you see these movies? And you said you had a mood board. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So what was it that you were looking for? Was it a certain type of color or a certain type of vibe? Like, how would you kind of describe what it is you're looking for?
Like I mentioned before, how Iris came to me originally with the mood board, and we kind of developed the whole, like, the vibe, if you want to call it, of the movie together. I would say, yeah, we did take a lot of our inspiration from like Stranger Things or Riverdale and It, in the sense that they are kind of either influenced or like directly based in the 80s era. So the characters' costumes and even how the school looks, the colors, like our poster, the fonts we used, it all kind of has the same aesthetic,
we wanted
the
to be like
vintage
very
aesthetic.
cohesive.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is when I wanted to show you something or someone who potentially went on the team, I wanted them to understand it like right off the bat. Be like, okay, I get what type of film this is. And I think hopefully that's what you got from it, because all the photos I showed you were like of the high schools. You know what I mean? And like we scouted the high school, one of them, which is Northern Secondary School, which is where Carrie filmed the most recent version. And we like when we scouted, like, yeah, this is exactly what we wanted, because it looks like it was in the 80s. The classrooms are so old, like wooden floors, everything, and that I feel like that kind of really goes with like the typography that we used, the poster that we made, and yeah,
because even like the Goosebumps series, growing up, we grew up reading them. Well, Iris more than me, I was scared, but
Even Goosebumps?
I was a wuss.
Yeah.
But even like the fonts and everything, how it's kind of playful and it's kind of cute, but in a scary way. We wanted to use that. So you'll see a lot of the characters, they're even wearing like a lot of bright colored clothing. We actually, me and Hazel, the producer, we went and thrifted those at Black Market. So even like what are they called? The varsity jackets that the jocks are wearing, I kind of customized them myself. We thrifted them from Black Market and then kind of made them, like, ironed on the H on them, Faber High. So it kind of gave it a little bit of a vintage, like, American high school aesthetic.
Yeah.
Which I keep saying over and over. But
people get it. Like they see the varsity jacket and be like, okay, yeah, I see.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that's what's really important, that all of our styles aren't all over the place. Yeah.
And even with the location, like we wanted a big school, like a big scary looking school almost. And a lot of the classrooms, you could tell they were very old, and they had like a skeleton in the back, and they had the worn out wood panel floors. So that actually, a lot went into just finding the locations and scouting them, because we were, how many schools did we go to? We went to like 8 schools, I feel.
I think,
or 6.
was it 8? I think 6.
I think it was like 6 or something. Yeah.
Even the football field. Like we want a very specific look for the football field.
Yeah.
So we went to like 4 different schools for that.
Yeah, I was surprised. Even in the trailer, you see the football field.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we have a football field in Canada?
I know.
Right?
It
Like,
looks American. It looks very American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I'm like, I didn't even know we did that. Or like,
Yeah.
I assume somebody plays football somewhere, right? Because I don't know anybody that does. But then when I saw that shot, I'm like, oh, we do. I guess we do that.
Yeah.
So-
No, it took a lot of scouting to find the perfect one.
Oh my gosh.
But like I said, we shot at Northern Secondary School, so that's where they filmed Carrie. That school was, I mean, like I've
Perfect.
said over and over, I'm scared of everything, but I felt like that school was haunted or something when I was going around,
I
like
think
looking
it was
for classrooms.
built like in the 1800s or something.
Oh
an
yeah,
old
it looks like a
school.
castle.
No.
Yeah.
It was perfect though. So thank you. But
I got some creepy vibes when
I
we
know.
were
I was
scouting,
like,
but
let's wrap.
it was perfect.
Let's leave. We got the shot.
Yeah.
And so, Tiana, I just want to focus. You mentioned a couple of things already about being an art director.
Yeah.
Iris reached out to you and said you want to be in this project. Was the role that you always wanted to do was kind of art directing, kind of get involved in that side of the looks and the props and the making the varsity jackets, that kind of stuff that you were talking about? Was that something you always wanted to do, or do you want to like eventually get out and direct and edit or do some other aspects of film?
Well, the thing is with me, I really like all the aspects of like the directing, the editing, the design, the visual design of the film, which I did, and just even the story, like creating that. I would say I'm open to everything, but creative direction, it's definitely, I feel like I have a good eye for the visuals of it, having a consistent branding and a consistent feel of the film, whether it's through marketing or the look of it, music, everything coming together. So me and Iris worked really closely with that.
Yeah.
Because like I said, that was one of the first things she told me when she pitched the film to me. So I was like, yeah, I'm so on board with this. Like I can totally see how we can bring this together through the clothing and all that. Like we could go to a thrift store, we could build this, we could customize this. So.
I should also add that Tiana was like a really great editor too. Like we all edited the film, and like anytime I was gone for work or school, like Tiana, Sam, or Hazel would come in, and like literally there are some scenes I'm like, I have no clue what to do with this, because sometimes we didn't get enough coverage, and like Tiana would fix it. I'd be like, I didn't even think about that. So you were also like a great editor as well.
Thank
and
you.
I know that you also have like a great technical side as well. So yeah, I think what you just said, you're very multifaceted, and yeah.
And then, so Iris, for you, why choose to do a thriller or horror? Obviously, you're a big fan.
Yeah.
But you could shoot anything, right? Like,
Yeah.
you could have shot a comedy or something, right? So why choose a thriller or horror?
I also love coming of age films, so I think I wanted to combine something with that with like thrillers are so dope. Like the music, like the acting, and teenagers like combined together. That's like my heaven. So like anytime it's bad. Like I know some shows kind of overdo it with all that stuff, but like I'm like I want something that's gonna like, you know, make people remember high school, but also not in such a cheesy, touchy way, if that makes sense.
High school is a very special time
It
for Iris.
is. Honestly, I keep saying, I'm like, I don't think, you know how they say like high school is the best 4 years of your life. I'm not gonna say that it is, but like I think I grew the most when I was in high school because of the friendships I made and because of the weird experiences I've had, and like plus all the horror movies that I've watched. So I think it's my love for those two experiences, watching horror films and / thriller films plus high school.
And you have a prom scene in your film.
It's a prom montage. So it's when people are getting ready for prom and entering prom. We sadly didn't rent out a gym and like do the
I
whole
wish.
thing.
That would have been, we didn't have time for that. We didn't have the resources for that,
my
but that would have
gosh.
been amazing.
I know.
What we did do, we just had a little montage of like people dressing up, people getting ready in the bathrooms, people like kids getting drunk, like that kind of thing. You know, high school things.
High school. Yeah, getting drunk in the washroom, smoking in the washroom.
Relatable.
Relatable. No, not at all for me. Yeah.
Is prom a theme too for you in terms of like the movies that you like? Because there's a lot of great prom
course.
scenes.
Yeah, you always
Carrie.
Carrie, Stranger Things, the dance scene where like they're all, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're getting ready for the dance. Like I think every classic film or TV show that's held in the 80s has like a classic prom montage. So I'm even if we can't show it in the gym, I still want to see people getting ready. So that's what gets me excited, you know? We also have like funky music while that's like the whole montage is playing, and I love it. I think it's one of my favorite parts of the film. Yeah.
So we had a really great composer actually. Ellie Kozak. He did such a good job. He made the score, the credits, all of that.
Yeah. I've also I've had so much fun with him just sitting down and be like, can you make it sound like this? And I do like some stupid thing with my voice. He's like, oh yeah, I get what you're saying. And like he's great. He really like just made the film come to life. Really, truly. Yeah.
And you mentioned the film coming to life, but you also mentioned the resources. You guys funded money through Indiegogo. How was that experience? Because that's another place now that a lot of filmmakers and a lot of creators are turning to. How was that experience for you guys?
Wanna go for it?
I mean, just the experience of, well, first of all, we put together an Indiegogo video. So a lot of that was actually like Iris, that you had a big part in that video, which a lot of our all of our contributors ended up seeing because it was on our page.
It was fun. It was in a bowling alley.
In Oakville.
Yeah. So we wanted
So
to
cute.
keep the aesthetic of it consistent so that people would kind of know what they're kind of contributing for. So we just wanted it to be very upbeat and exciting, and for them to kind of get what the film is about. And kind of our values behind the film. We just
yeah.
wanted to make that really clear for everyone so that everyone would kind of be on board with it and maybe be excited to see it.
Yeah, we didn't want to just like sit in front of a camera and be like, hey, this is why you should contribute to our film. We wanted to be like, here's a little, sneak peek of what's to come. You know what I mean? And it was a stressful experience, if I'm going to be completely honest, because like you're asking people, right, for money. And like in general, I just feel bad about that. So you just want to make sure that like you're putting work into it. And it's not just like, hey, we need money. It's like, hey, we care about this. Let us show you how we care about it, how much we care about it, and here's why.
Because even though this film, it did kind of start as a school project, because it is like our thesis film, we don't really see it that way. Because I mean, we got our marks. That's over. We just really want it to look good. We want people to see it. We want people to get excited about it, because this is so important to us. I mean, we're all very passionate about it from the get-go. When Iris was telling me about it, like even before class started, she was just like, yeah, I really want to do this, but I don't want us to think of it like it's a school project. I don't want us to be doing this for the mark. I want us to all actually be on board with creating something amazing.
I don't even think about it as like a school thing anymore.
It was never really a school project.
We get our marks back. I'm like, oh, right. Okay. Yeah, true.
Like, oh yeah, we're getting marked for this.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Iris, does that kind of feel like the way you guys are talking about the rest of the team who's putting it together, the way you were shooting the film, does that flow out of your experiences in a small town and just kind of like the friendships you had in high school and that kind of feeling? Because the film set can be very much like high school, right? Like you're seeing the same people and you're working with the same people over and over again, sometimes in stressful situations.
Yeah.
Very much like high school, right?
Yeah.
Is that where it came from, or is that just kind of like your style as a director?
So the question was,
does like the feel and the attitude, the style that you have for like the way that you kind of marketed the team,
Yes.
everybody's super happy together.
Yes.
Is that flowing out of your experiences growing up in a small town and from high school, or is that just like a conscious choice you made as a director?
I think it's important for like, in general, any film set, any crew, just to work well together. I thought it was always really important, starting in high school, just to like listen to other people and like what they had to contribute. I mean, I felt very strongly about certain things, and like I know Tiana and I, like we disagree on some things, and like but we still listen to each other's opinions. I think it's important to cater to like, or foster a really warm and welcoming environment. So yeah, I would definitely say that like no matter what, regardless of the content that we're making, I still want to create an environment where people aren't afraid to say what they want to say. There would also be times on set where like some of the actors would be like, hey, can I try it like this, or like, hey, I don't know if this joke is really working, and I'd be like, totally, if that's what you feel, just go for it. I think it's important. Like I call myself the director of this, but the director is, I'm listening to what other people are saying, and I'm trying to take into account of like my vision with theirs and the way we can like mend it together.
Are you hoping eventually to make this like a longer film? Sometimes some movies like this start off as shorts, and then after they've had some success.
I want to. I really, really want to. Honestly, I have. It's been a lot. Like the past few months, I don't even think I've had time to think about distribution and also like what's going to come after that. Hopefully, if someone can help us sponsor that, I think we're all I mean, most of us are graduating this year, so I don't really know what's to come, but I am totally down to do it.
We're open to it.
Yeah.
In terms of graduating and getting out into the big bad world,
Bad world.
are you excited? Because now, like from say years ago when other film students would graduate, you guys now have like YouTube, and we touched already on Indiegogo, and you have all these resources. Are these kind of resources exciting, or are they intimidating, or how do you view them?
I mean, it's a little bit of both. Of course, we do have more opportunity now to, because we have more platforms to get our work out there. But at the same time, depending on how you look at it, I feel like some people feel that there's more competition, because then you see what everyone else is doing and you feel a little bit intimidated by that, which is actually something that a mindset I'm kind of trying to change. I'm just trying to think, you know what, focus on yourself, focus on what you're putting out there, and don't kind of pay attention like why can't I do it like this person, like they're so much better than me, But yeah, I feel like it's definitely an advantage for film students who are graduating, just because you have a platform to put your work out there, rather than you know, just creating something and having to go out of your way to have it be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's important because we didn't need permission to post on Indiegogo. Like that's the thing. We don't need permission to do things anymore. It's like we make a video, we edit it, and we put it online, and like whoever sees it. We just promote the heck out of it, you know? And I think it is, I get what you mean by it is intimidating, but I think it's also like, it's important to see what other people are doing and to see how you can do things differently, you know? And everyone has a different take. So like, even if you think yours not, like, I thought our Indiegogo video was like okay, I thought our website was okay, but like a lot of people are like, yo, that's good, and I'm like, okay, cool. You know, like literally the night before I was like, I hate it all, like it's just like we have to redo everything. And like Sam, who was also one of the producers, was just like, no, trust me, it's okay, it looks good. And I think you kind of get into that pattern if you watch something over and over again.
I got so frustrated, especially in the editing room, like me and Iris editing.
Oh my
we were
gosh.
like watching our trailer over and over. We're like, this sucks, what are we doing?
Literally. But it's fine.
And then we watched it the next day, we're like, this is great.
I think you just need a time separated, and you also need different people's inputs on it. I think that helps. For sure. But
yeah, I feel like we're really lucky to be in the position that we're in, especially right now in like 2019 with all these platforms and everything. Yeah, because a lot of the media production students, a lot of the RTA students, like they didn't have this kind of thing, say 10 years ago.
Even like iPhones, for example, like the amount of stuff you can shoot and the quality that you can shoot, like that's already just gone up in just the last few years, right? So like there is a lot more tools as more and more students graduate from film school. There's a lot more exciting tools that you can use that are getting much more accessible.
It's very true. It's very, very true. And that's the thing, you don't want to restrict yourself because you don't have specific type of equipment. You know what I mean? It's about like the content that's important.
And if you had a choice and you could follow this up with another indie film, would you stick with this genre or would you branch out and try something a little bit more different?
I'm not. Again, I think coming of age films would be fun. Like movies like Lady Bird, I've always loved because they're so simple. They don't really have that much of a plot, and it's character driven.
We just recently saw 8th Grade, for example.
Oh my gosh, one of my favorite movies.
I still haven't seen that.
It's on Netflix. You have to watch it.
I
I think
you
you'd
love
really
it.
love it. I love it. I quote it all the time. I have the T-shirt. Like, I think it's just so well written and it's so honest. I watched it. I'm like, that's who I was without phones. Oh my god, I can't even imagine if I was in 8th grade and had a phone. That'd be so anxiety inducing. But like, I watched and I'm like, that's like Elsie Fisher. That's me right now. Like, I can relate to that character, and I feel like it's important to make films where like young people or people in general can just relate to, you know. I don't know how much people can relate to like our film right now. I guess people can relate to the feeling of feeling like an underdog and like they want to prove themselves, but in general I think coming of age films are very beautiful, so I'd be very open to, you know, making a film like that. What about you?
Same kind of thing as you. I feel like
you probably just want to run away from the horror movies though, right?
After this, horror movies are kind of cool.
They're
like
dope. Yeah,
because sorry, getting sidetracked here, but just editing them, because the quote unquote scary parts, I had to rewatch like scary scenes from actual horror movies on YouTube to see how they edited them. So I think I'm a little desensitized to that now. But
because once you see it behind the scenes too, right? Like you kind of already know what's happening and like all that kind of stuff.
And you're like, that monster's not real. That's prosthetics. But I think coming of age movies like what we're doing, that whole aspect of it is what really drew me into The Night the Kids Found Out, just because it is something that we can all relate to, the characters, the struggles they're going through growing up, because I feel us being where we are right now, about to graduate in university, we don't know where we're gonna be next year. We don't know where we're gonna be in the next 5 years. It's scary. But yeah, I feel like that's something that a lot of people can really relate to.
Totally. I that's, you know, it wasn't like, I didn't pitch it as, okay, it's this thriller where like, you know, they're figuring out this whole thing, but it's also like you like the characters. And I think that's what's so important, is like you like the characters, and the whole point of this movie isn't that they're just trying to solve the crime. You're getting to know who Nico, Al, and Riley are. Because
when we were first developing this film, we didn't really have an idea of how the characters were exactly. We knew that we wanted 3 main characters who were good friends trying to solve this mystery, but we didn't really have the depth to them yet. So Iris and Adrian, who was the writer of this film, so Adrian developed the script first, and he was the one who really brought life to these characters. So I think it's really great what he did, how they're all different, but they're all having a similar kind of struggle in a way. You know,
You'll watch it and you'll see like these characters are people you know. You know, like Al is kind of like, he's an overachiever, but he's very insecure, so he doesn't take those risks. Whereas Nico is like, she's more of a go-getter. They're all still underdogs though, right? So she's obviously insecure about like her social standing in the high school realm. And Riley is very much an outsider, doesn't have that many friends, so they kind of take her under their wing. And yeah, you see people you know in these characters.
yeah.
And we get to see it on Monday, March 25.
Yes.
At
Yes.
the Scotiabank Theater. That should be
Scotiabank
really
Theater.
exciting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Come a little bit early because we're gonna set up a photo booth. It's gonna be prom themed, so if you want to go all out, wear
Nice.
your little tuxes or whatever, please do.
And are you hoping eventually to like submit this then to like film festivals and stuff? They play a lot of shorts and things like that. Are you hoping to get it around? And
Yeah, we have an Excel sheet like full of like festivals we
boy.
want to. Yeah, like we're ready, and I think it's actually perfect timing because the submissions start like in April/May. So yeah, like we're ready.
okay.
Yeah.
And what are the socials people can follow to keep a better track of what's happening and where if you end up at a film festival near you?
So we have our Instagram. So I would say our Instagram and Facebook if you want to keep up to date with what's going on with our film. Follow us on Instagram at TNTKFO, and Facebook is TNTKFO.
I think
too.
it's the night the kids found
Yeah, the
out.
night the kids found out. If
Yeah.
you look that up, you can find it easily.
Yep.
But yeah, there we just kind of post updates and little videos and pictures, et cetera, to see what's going on with our film.
Yep. Private screening is what comes first, and then eventually we want to just do a public screening, and then after that it's just film like festivals, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then hopefully distribution. We'll see what happens there.
I'm going to wrap up, but I'm going to ask a slightly unfair question, so I apologize for that up front. But like you said, you guys don't know what's going to happen now that you're out of school and you're going into life. And when you look at the Canadian film industry and the way we've been kind of last little while, we've had a lot of layoffs in our TV shows, our TV channels and things like that. Are you kind of hopeful? Are you excited to stay here and find work and stuff and kind of connect with the industry? Or are you nervous? Or are you pessimistic? How would you describe yourselves as you look at the industry?
Great question. You can go first.
Because it's interesting from your end, right?
Yeah.
Like people who've been doing this for a number of years, they've kind of seen almost everything, right?
Yeah.
But now you're coming into this industry that is still trying to figure out, especially in Canada, trying to figure out all this Netflix and all this stuff that's
Yeah.
happening.
No, of course it's scary, but I mean, this generation, like everyone who's I've worked with in media production, everyone who's our age and just getting into the industry, I feel like there's a lot of potential for like just the Canadian film industry, the Canadian entertainment industry to just flourish because they have really great ideas. Everyone I've seen in my program, they're very smart in like a technical way and like writing, creating stories, creating content, visuals, everything, audio. I think it's
scary
going great
because
places.
like our competition is America, and I mean their television film industry is booming, and ours is I think it's scary because we don't really have that great of like a base to kind of jump off of. But again, it's what we talked about before, right? Like we have so many opportunities. Like there's the internet, there's YouTube, there's Vimeo, there's so many things that we're exposed to, and we really never know who's going to see it. We don't know who's going to pick it up eventually one day, who sees potential and be like, hey, maybe this could be something. So I'm excited about that part, and I think it's a lot about just like meeting different people and like meeting people who you like and putting work out there that you believe in. And
I feel the biggest thing too for us right now, like me and Iris graduating, is you should never stop learning new things. Like the moment you're not open to it, or the moment that you feel, you know what, I know everything, I can do whatever I want, that's when you start failing, because the industry is constantly changing, technology wise, everything, and you have to keep up with those trends, which is, it's hard, but it's also very exciting.
And to think about it, like we're really good at social media. Like I think we know it more than a lot of other people. So that's like a strength, I think, in general.
Because we grew up with it.
We did,
Yeah.
and we're great at it. Millennials, and I think that's a great asset to have. You know what I mean? And I thought our marketing was really good for this film.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we know how to speak internet.
Okay.
So
It's all online then.
Yeah.
But offline, the screening is Monday, March 25 at Scotiabank Theater, and it's the night the kids found out. So thank you, ladies, for coming in and hanging out.
Thank
and
you for having us.
We covered a lot of fun stuff. We covered horror movies and who would survive, who wouldn't. I really don't think, Tiana, you would survive at all. Yeah. I think you'd be like one of the first 5 minutes, whatever.
I'm a little bit of a whim.
Yeah. So you're a tough lady and so everything like that. I know you well, but I don't think you'd survive at all. I think you put up a good fight, you know what I mean? But at the end, you'd succumb.
I just cry in a corner.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But Iris, I got my money on you. I think you could make it to sun up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's my professional opinion from
Okay,
hanging
I'm
out with you
sticking
guys.
with Iris.
Yeah.
Yeah, just stick with me.
That's what you should do. Yeah. So, anyways, thank you, ladies, for coming in.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you
Thanks
so
for having
much.
us.
I'm your host, Sammy Younan. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram at My Pal Sammy. Thank you for listening.